I'm Stephen Wilkes, and I'm excited to share with you. I'm here at the Holden Luntz Gallery in Palm Beach, and very excited to share some of my work with you guys. This picture behind me actually is a date and night I did in a place called Lake Bogoria, and it's in Kenya. And these are lesser known flamingos, and I had really an extraordinary experience photographing these very unique birds. I spent quite a few months trying to find flamingos because, believe it or not, originally I was supposed to photograph in Rio Largatos in Mexico, but due to climate change, the birds didn't come this year to nest. So we ended up going to Lake Bogoria, Kenya, to find this specific species. And I got there, we ended up building a 30-foot tower to photograph from. And what was interesting about this picture, if I can stand up and share this with you, is that you'll notice the hills here are green. And this is actually photographing in Kenya during the peak of the dry season. So you never see rain during the dry season normally, but this is not normal times anymore. So it turns out it was raining every evening at about 9:30 at night. We get these massive thunderstorms. And so what ended up happening was we'd get fresh water streams coming every morning. And one thing about lesser flamingos that I discovered was that as much as they love to really drink in very, very sodium-rich and plankton-rich water, it's something that humans would be very sick from drinking. When it comes to bathing, they love to bathe in fresh water. And so I built my scaffolding right by the edge of this fresh water stream. And had the fresh water not been there, I don't think I could have ever made this photograph. And if you look closely, there's a real story going on in this photograph. Time changes on what I call the x-axis. So from the bottom of the picture going up is how time changes. In the foreground is the early morning, and you can see that this is a marabou stork. You'll notice that they're on either side of the photograph. And what ends up happening is, as time changes, you'll see that the birds are at one point very clustered together. They're sensing that maybe the marabou stork is going to attack them. And then what happens is during the midday, you'll notice the color of light changing in birds. They start getting relaxed and they don't feel as threatened anymore. And then suddenly, in the late afternoon light, all these marabou storks that are in the rear of this picture and the front ones have a full-on attack. And so every single bird you see on the ground here, this is one moment. They all flew and took off because they were being attacked. And it was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Literally 100,000 birds flying at once. So this is an image I did from the Kumela Festival in Haridwar, India. And it's one of these extraordinary religious festivals that happen in India. And in this picture, I actually was, to get this view, I had to be in a police tower about 40 feet above everything. And it was 18 hours of photographing. Just an incredible thing to witness. So in the morning, time starts on the left side here. This is on the x-axis, and time actually this is on the z-axis. Starts mornings on the bottom, and time travels this way. So it goes from day into night. And what happens is the people come in, and it's a part of the religious belief is the river Ganges is a god, and you swim into the river. And so the prayer is literally staying in the water all day long. People pray in the water all day long. And as you look closely here, there are all these fantastic moments that were happening as I kept photographing. But I have to say my favorite moment is this one gentleman in this picture, because I think in a unique way, he's only so big in the photograph, yet it feels to me like he draws all the energy into this single moment. He's what they describe as called letting himself go to God. And that's the moment that's happening right here. And I remember when I took the picture, I knew instantly that moment was going to be in this photograph. And as you see time change, as you get under the bridge here, now they have the night ceremony, and you can see all the lights come on, and it's almost like like Disneyland, the Magic Kingdom, the light show. And over here, there are a whole group of these. They raise these torches and they do this almost ballet-like movement with these flame torches, and then they add incredible dyes into the water. Again, all acts of giving back to Ganges, the river Ganges, the god. So it's just an amazing experience to watch, and I felt very fortunate to be able to capture this entire day in one photograph. So this is one of my favorite images from my early work in New York, called Coney Island, day to night. And this one was, for me, so much fun to do because there's nothing in terms of, I started as a street photographer, and there's nothing that is any better than photographing all the people that come through on the boardwalk on Coney Island. It's really quite an amazing experience. So this was shot on, I think it was July 16th, one of these perfect summer days. And you can see I specifically wanted day to be on the beach side. And lo and behold, with my luck, there was a regatta race going on. So that's why all these white sailboats are out here onto the water. And as time changes, it actually changes across the boardwalk. And for me, I never even ate lunch. I think I actually ate lunch and was photographing at the same time because I could not take my eyes off of the people that were going on, what was going on below me. I'm 50 feet in the air here for 16 hours, photographing everything that I can see. And the beautiful thing about what I do is I get up in the air, and at 50 feet, nobody looks up, so I'm essentially invisible. So nobody's really conscious that they're being photographed. And as a result, I get to see all these incredible moments. And there's people here with the free hug signs. There's a girl down here who looks like she's something out of the 1920s with an outfit on. My favorite guy is here. He obviously had quite a bit of sun and was wearing his wife beater t-shirt, and he took it off, and so he's got the outline of the actual t-shirt still on his body. So there were all kinds of stuff going on here. And then, of course, as time changed, the amusement park comes on, and Dino's Wonder Wheel, which is such an iconic landmark of Coney Island. And of course, recently, Hurricane Sandy destroyed a lot of this area. They've rebuilt it, but many of these things don't exist quite the same way they do in this photograph. So it's actually become somewhat historical.